My friends, hello and welcome to GoldenEye's SpeedLore, the series where we examine the history of GoldenEye speedrunning through the lens of the world record progression on one stage. Or two stages, as we'll find out tonight. In fact, tonight is our 5th iteration of GoldenEye DLTK SpeedLore, which is a very difficult side league on 007 mode settings, where all the settings are maxed out. We see enemy health at 10,000, which means guards take 10 headshots to pass away. Enemy damage is 1,000, which means they do 10 bars of damage to you. Accuracy 100%, they always hit you if nothing's in the way, and reaction speed 100%, so they always recover. And indeed tonight, as we usually do, we will look at the progression of GoldenEye DLTK SpeedLore, which often uses some of the most difficult, most interesting, and most thoughtful strategies in order to beat the game quickly. Now, the past few episodes of DLTK SpeedLore, I formatted it a little bit differently from the original series. We kind of showed the progression of beating every stage one by one, and that was pretty cool. But tonight we're going to take a look at a couple of stages. The progression just on those stages, so it's going to kind of be more like a traditional speedlore. Mind you, a lot less records happen on these stages because A, they're very difficult, and B, they are less played than the normal mode, but I tell you, certainly no less interesting. And so tonight we're going to definitely look at Facility and Frigate, the world record progression of these stages on DLTK, and we'll see from there. Maybe we might be able to throw in one or two extra videos or levels, but we're going to start with Facility and Frigate, and in particular, we're going to start with Facility. So, let's take a look. In the early DLTK lore episodes, one run that I even showed this in the main series, was this Facility DLTK 204 by Ace from June 06. This is a, watershed run in the community because for years it was this massive sort of, and it has this insane music in it too, this sort of discussion on, is it even possible to beat any levels with maxed settings? And early in the game's history, we thought, no way, this is impossible. And then eventually levels started to happen, and then it was sort of, brought to a head even when Ace was able to beat Facility in under the target time to get the invincibility cheat. That's pretty insane to think about that. I know a lot of people nowadays just actually played GoldenEye for the first time in years and struggled to get invincibility, struggled to get 205 or lower on Facility Double Agent. Yet here Ace is in 2006 at the age of 10 or 11 years old, and he is getting under 205 on the hardest mode possible in the game. Maxed settings in 007 mode. And so it really kind of drives home just how insane these records are, and just how insane the great GoldenEye players are at this game. He could have easily shot that scientist twice, which would have caused the scientist to shoot at him, which would have been pretty intense, and look, the explosion is far enough away to not get Doke involved. I mean, the level, it's a brilliantly played run. And so we may only imagine, where can the world record go from here? Ace is going to be in 204. How much will this record be improved by? How quickly can we beat GoldenEye Facility on DLTK? What are some of the techniques used? We saw him being quick but careful. And certainly in the first part tonight, we're gonna examine exactly how far this can come. So Ace gets 204 in 06. And I mean, the first iteration of this was 8 minutes by Illu, 7 minutes by Trent, 3 minutes by Wouter, and we did show those runs in an earlier DLTK episode, as well as this one. Boson would try his hand, and Boson is a very good DLTK player, and he would get 152 in 08, and that's a great run by Boson. We will see more of Boson later, but I want to keep advancing into the world record progression. And after Boson in 08, we would see Eddie Lovins come along. And Eddie Lovins was another very good. He was a top 10 speedrunner in the main game at one point. And he tried his hand at some DLTK levels. And he got a good 147 on the stage. So let's take a look at some of the different strategies he used. So similar box technique there. So Lovins was big on the quick pausing. He was one of the first guys to realize how significant, how much time you could save quick pausing. And so what this will do is he even skips a guard there. He knows he can get away with that guard not seeing him. And that's just something that you have to like learn from experience, realizing, okay, I've played enough runs, let's try to skip him. And it can be scary to skip him at times, because you're gonna pass away. But sometimes you just have to give it a shot and see what happens. And that's how you can learn which guards are skippable, if any. Another quick pause. Oh my god, that's like so ballsy. So like, because the guards recover very, very quickly. And I also wonder the risk of scientists failing there. So he gets the third, see, he gets the third best Doke location. If Doke was in one of the other two locations, he would have saved 1 or 2 seconds. So he's shooting from up here, which is interesting. I wonder if the guards, like, behind him there can hear him or not. Maybe not. I trust that he kind of has looked into this. I think these guards come down the stairs, though. Yeah, they do, which is really intense. I believe I showed this in a previous lore as well, but these kind of set the stage for, you know, what comes next on Facility DLTK. That would have been such a nerve-wracking run when achieved, you know, 147, 007 mode, maxed settings, DLTK. It's amazing. It's amazing and beautiful. And so that was a really good record, and obviously it stood for, you know, you would think a long time, like who else is going to play this mode? And it was certainly not the most popular mode for everyone to play. A lot of the guys who were really good at the main game would stick to the main game and the main levels, you know, agent, special, secret agent, 00 agent. Usually, every now and then, someone would come along and dive in to DLTK. And I would say about half the time, and we're going to see this tonight as well, half the time, the DLTK levels are sort of brought down and progressed by virtue of a DLTK specialist really grinding hard and you know, being very clever and coming up with good strategies. And the other half of the time, it is when a, you know, top player of the other games comes along and pulls off something in DLTK mode. Because, you know, it is a less optimal mode. You know, the harder a difficulty is, usually the less optimized it is. But when someone like a Clem or Ace or a Mark Rootsu comes along, they can usually take that optimization mindset and bring it to DLTK. And so in summer 09, that's exactly what Mark Rootsu did. He would tie the 147 of Eddie Lovins, and he would actually bring it down a little bit further. My friends, let's see the run that Mark Rootsu got in October 2009. So he's, instead of doing any sort of, oh yes, so that's it. He chucks a mine there instead of some other location, which is probably a little bit quicker. Warps there. I think, actually, interestingly, Rootsu probably won't do too much quick pausing. He probably wasn't, like, a big believer in it. He did skip the same guard as Lovins. Now, you could check the side rooms for Doke, but again, you're going for the world record, going for the fastest time ever. So you're going to have to just hope he's in one of the better locations towards the end. And again, Lovins, if he had a better Doke and he didn't have to check these R2 spots, he probably could have got, you know, 4 or 5 seconds faster than his 147. So we'll see just how much Rootsu comes along and improves this. And that is, I mean, that's great. I guess it's relatively consistent if they always end up pulling it off, but, you know, it's no less nerve-wracking, I'll say. So, again, Doke is in the 3rd position. There's 2 closer positions that he could be in to, you know, save even more time. You want to decode there. You just have to wait here for a few seconds. Nice shots. Again, I guess that's safe to shoot from up there. But the thing is, you don't want to wait too long because the level ends at what you want to activate Trevelyan as fast as you can because the level. Oh my God! Look, though, look, Mark almost gets pwned by those guards coming down the stairs. The level is kind of once you activate Trevelyan, you can leave based on that moment. So you want to get down and activate him as soon as possible. But Mark would still get a 1:43, which is a very good time on the stage. So here's the fascinating thing about Rootsu's 1:43 on DLTK on facility. You know, I'm actually looking at how long this stood untied. And it's a fascinating case because the longest DLTK untieds remained untied for between 8 and 10 years. 8 and 12 years, in fact. And so what is especially interesting about Rootsu's 1:43 DLTK is that it remained untied for 8 years, and so it's actually just short of the top 10 ever. Someone came along and tied or improved this time 8 years and 2 months later. Who was it? My friends, it was none other than Mark Rootsu himself. And this brings up a very interesting case because if he didn't go out and beat his own record, maybe it would have become one of the longest standing untieds ever, you know. But this is the sign of a true gamer. A gamer who knows the ultimate truth. Someone like Mark Rootsu, who will go out at any cost in many of the times and improve the world record, even if it's his own, and even if it means that one of his other world records doesn't quite hit a historic milestone that it may have if he simply left it alone. And so, my friends, this run from December 2017, 8 years later, was the first improvement of facility DLTK. It's an amazing speed run. Mark Rootsu is a strange, unusual individual, and so we must dedicate this speed run to a SpeedLore champion, and this one goes out to none other than our SpeedLore champion, Mr. Moxie. A huge thanks to Mr. Moxie for your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let us watch this amazing facility DLTK run by Mark Rootsu. So Mark is quick pausing now. Oh, a guard's throwing a nade. The extra explosion damage kind of hurt him, but not significantly enough to like merit any problems. Now this one looks very similar to his first one, his 143. So I'm wondering if the only difference will be best doke. There it is, best doke. He knows it's the run now.
This is it, boys.
He calls it. I feel like those shots almost got hung up on the top of the tank, but...
Bad trip. I almost got killed.
I feel like you could have left.
I lost like a second on Trev.
Yeah.
Yes! 138! What a guard run. That's a nice run. That could even be 137. Wow. I'm a bit surprised by that. I thought like maybe this is 139 because I don't really remember the run. I don't remember the whole run at all. But I'm very satisfied with this 138. 9 second untied. Sweet, man. Sweet, man.
Nice run. And yeah, where I actually see a bit of time loss is I feel like he destroyed the last tank and could have like left. I guess he has to wait a little bit for Trev. Okay, that makes sense. But when he said bad Trev, it's actually a different kind of bad Trev compared to like what you see in the normal mode, you know, agent or double O agent, because he's sort of shooting the tanks out from afar, and this gives Trev the opportunity to walk away. Like, you kind of want him to come back. He could see you now, but yeah, like you probably lost about a second there. As he said, even so, 138 DLTK's a pretty nice time. Again, I mean, put this into perspective. Maybe you have recently played the re-release, and maybe you know that it's hard to get 138 even on double O agent for a mere mortal. Yet here's Mark with maxed settings doing it on you know, DLTK mode, which is pretty insane. So here's his 143. He claimed a 140 in November 2012, but it's either lost media or it's never been, you know, seen before. It's never been, you know, either a video was never made or it was lost or whatever. There's 138, untied when set, a great run. No doubt about that. 2017. But my friends, who would come along and drive it down even more? Well, it was none other than our pal, Dave Clemens, the one and only True Faith. Now, True Faith obviously is a very good player as well. Him and Mark have always kind of been rivals. And, yeah, he was experimenting with some interesting stuff, modern knowledge, really bringing this into the 2020s era. And this was from March 2022. And, we'll see what we're going to watch a number of Clem runs here. They're all very good. And we're going to see that kind of modern method of thinking and advancement on the stage. And it's going to drop it down a good deal here. So let's check it out. Actually, this one, interestingly, he definitely got this as the world record, but he never posted, I guess. And perhaps we'll find out why this was never posted. Or actually, no, you know what, he probably did. We'll find out. Anyways, this is a good run. Remember, the record here at the top is 138 by Rootsu. But we're about to see another remarkable run, my friends. One so remarkable, in fact, that we will dedicate to our SpeedLore champion, Soul O'Rock. A huge thanks to Soul for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's watch this amazing run here. Here we go. It's the same box strategy that we've been seeing.
There's like this one guard that hangs out in the doorway of the double console room.
I literally think you're just not making enough noise.
I'm just not a guard. I feel like when I do it the best, I get like the worst one.
So he chucks the mine through the wall there.
Come on, this is it.
Sounds like he's talking with Irie in voice chat. Nice shots.
There's a guard following me, so I gotta hope I get lucky. Hello? Oh, God.
I think, oh, I thought Doak was there. I thought I saw him there anyways. So third Doak position. Could save a few more seconds with a better Doak.
Do you think I could somehow clutch it?
Maybe.
What's your run?
I got 138.
Really?
Worst dog. Yeah.
Wow, nice slay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if I can clutch this. I got best dog. This is like a really good run, but I'm gonna die. So
I thought it might be 137. I had a really good ending. I lost a little bit of time in the last tank, but I think it was close.
The guard came after me.
Did you have the best? Oh, Trev over too. Damn, that sucked.
It's interesting because obviously Irie's also playing Facility DLTK, and the big key here is that, you know, this has been known like on Control. We've been doing this for like 10 years now almost. I think 2014 was found. But you can throw, if you throw a nade then look away, it can pass through a door or a wall. And so that's what happens there. Obviously that's a little bit faster. You still have to pass away this guard, but then you can just keep going in here. You don't have to, like, you know, you kind of, it improves some waiting time, you know? And then obviously he doesn't get the best Doak. If he did, I mean, it could probably be 133. So it's a nice run, and it's kind of funny irony hearing Irie say, like, he could be on the run as Clem gets the run.
There's a guard alive! Dude, Clem, I'm on the run right now, and there's a guard alive. Do you think I...
Like, it's kind of funny, right? The juxtaposition of Clem nailing it as Irie's kind of talking about it, you know? So, there we go. But that same date, March 15, 2022, you know, Clem would keep playing, you know, same outfit, same stream, same everything. And, well, we can imagine a sort of new strategies on the cusp. If he can get a better Doak, maybe, just maybe, he can improve the time even more. And my friends, once again, we have a remarkable run to share with you. This one is dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, E Street. A huge thanks to our pal, E Street, for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's take a look at this amazing run. Another one by
But some guard followed me at the start. I have no idea who it was, but I just played it out anyway. But he followed me all the way to the 3-guard hall and killed me.
Insane explosions.
Come on.
I guess the BA would save a bar of health. Would save like one shot. But it's kind of rare to only get hit once. on DLTK.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Honestly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've been 5th since like November of last year. Yeah, look over your run and you've like ruined all the guards. You were like stunning the guards at the console room.
Oh god! I don't understand why that keeps happening.
The insane laggy mind throw or
I should
something.
say it's because like you can't switch your weapons while you're reloading.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Their
Of course.
best doke, baby.
Oh, I got no. Oh my god, how did you not hit that? This is it. Let's
135.
fucking go. What'd you get?
135.
Nice, dude. Congrats.
Kind of mad though. I mean, I'm happy I got. It was a good labs. It was like just good enough to not want to play more, but like just bad enough to be annoyed.
Dude, that's sick. 135, let's go. Congrats.
Thanks,
I got a
dude.
PB with you in voice, and then you got a PB with
Oh
me.
man. Yeah, I had a sick labs.
So Ludosis in chat brings up a great question saying, so do you have to pass away all the guards or can you run past them? The thing is, if you run past the guards, there's a really good chance that, you know, they'll turn around and shoot you and then you'll pass away, you know, because one shot does that. And so I was actually going to bring this up because if there's any spot I think time can be saved, other than like towards the end, like, okay, towards the end we can see objective C completes, that's Trev. So he could have left as soon as C completed. So he probably lost like 2 or 3 at the end if he had a better tank shooting. Something happened where like he reloaded really, I mean, he almost shot Trev as well, which is really insane. Like right there. I mean, I guess it was fine. I guess, yeah, I don't know. They were shooting the tanks from above earlier, so it was probably fine. But another place where I'm seeing time save, possibly, and I don't know because I haven't played this, is like if you chuck the mine here first and then make noise, I wonder if that would do anything. But then certainly I feel like you could just skip this guard. I feel like you could get away with skipping him. I don't know for sure, though, because maybe he follows you and chases you up here and passes you away. I don't know. So I guess we'll find out, you know? I guess we'll find out. I was gonna say it's pretty cool how, you know, Clem and Irie are in chatting together. You know,
This is it.
135.
Let's fucking go.
oh yeah, look, Icy's in chat saying, "How did you not hit Trev?" It's so true. I mean, this run was like moments away from fiasco here. Look at that. I should get that frame and make it the thumbnail or something because it's pretty epic. It's cool how Clem and Irie are in chat hanging out, like the boys gaming in chat. I'm sure many of us, regardless of age, in our teens, 20s, or 30s, have those nights chilling in voice with the boys, having a night of a gaming session. And it's just interesting here because a lot of guys want to be good. They want to be, you know, one of the best in the world. But in this case, we have 2 guys who actually are the best in the world at something, you know, as obscure and niche as GoldenEye DLTK is, you know, it makes me wonder. It's kind of cool, right? It's like these 2 guys are, in some ways, at least when it comes to gaming skill, what a lot of other guys would want to be, which is the very best at their game. And so that's pretty cool. Now, mind you, at the very end, we saw Clem say this.
It was a good labs. It was like just good enough to not want to play more, but like just bad enough to be annoyed.
So there you go, right? And so the question is, would he play more that night? Would he play more? And the answer, my friends, is yes, he would play more. Now, he turned off his webcam. You know, he's getting a little bit fatigued, perhaps. That being said, he would play more, you know. And would he do it again? Well, my friends, he would do something that we will dedicate to our brand new SpeedLore champion. Just became a SpeedLore champion during the stream. A huge thanks to GOP1386 for your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. This run here is dedicated to you. Let's check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I can't believe the guard was right there. I was like, I think the one run where I was gonna play it a little bit differently.
I genuinely wonder what happens here. Good. Good. Oh, yeah, he's like really tuned in. Shooting and strafing well. Nice quick pause. That could have gone so wrong. Oh my god. I guess that's where the body armor helps. You can like take better damage there. There's Best Stoke. Decoder pause. Decent travel, things considered. Great tank shots. Oh my god, oh my god. He clutched it, baby. He clutched it out. .133's improved it. Really great run. We'll just put it on here. I actually checked and I noticed Irie got 136 that day. And so it's kind of intense how, you know, he must have... Irie is historically not credited with the world record. So he must have got that 136 after Clem got the 135. You know, missing out a world record by hours only. And, but hey, they seem like they had a good time chilling in voice and you know, refining this level down, right? The record was 138 by Rootsu, now it's 135. And yeah, Sulo Rock in chat points out that he feels like he's really YOLOing the last room a lot more. Yeah, he blasts at the start. You can tell he's almost playing like fed up. Like he's like, whatever. There was a lot of times when he could have passed away here, but he just like, you know, that's the rub of the green, to borrow a term from Mario Golf. Sometimes things work out for you and sometimes they don't. And on this run, a lot worked out, especially like Best Doke. And yeah, the way he just blasts away here is really good too. And it's like, you can leave, I forget which objective is which, but you can technically leave as soon as, yeah, so C is Trev. And so it's like, if you were to find a way where you could blow all the tanks, you could have left when C completed, but you use up all your mines, you know, to get through the level. That's a common DLTK tactic, is to use explosives that way. So I don't know if there's any way to speed it up and, yeah, no, exactly, Sewell. Sewell says the run feels very impatient, like he was always itching to get going, even through explosions and stuff. And I agree, that's what I was kind of seeing, is kind of playing like he's fed up. And especially here, like, this guard easily could have shot him, which would have maybe not killed him because he had full health with body armor. But, like, that guard there, right? Maybe not. Like, he knows, he moves away from him as soon as the burst animation's done, and gets the explosion off before he has time to get a new animation. I'm not sure if he would have survived that. No, it looks like no. No, let's see. Does he get hit again? Okay, he would have survived that shot if he got shot once, which is pretty insane. Mind you, KF7 guards usually do bursts of 3, which was the KF7 does. So you usually have invincibility frames to like avoid getting hit once, but you might get hit twice still per burst. But it was a very interesting run, and he lowered it to 133, which is a great time. Yeah, Swatter says, gotta taste the flame just to feel, and perhaps it's true. Now, my friends, believe it or not, Clem would keep going. Look at that beautiful frame we paused the video on, just chucking the mine. And 2 days later, Clem comes back. He's in a fresh mindset. He's feeling good. He has a bit of a session, and he gets an amazing, amazing speed run. A speed run so remarkable, my friends, that we must dedicate to a SpeedLore champion, Sammy Limex. A huge thanks, Sammy, for all of your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I asked, how many shots do you do outside the A door? Do you do 6 or do you do 9? Because I'm thinking I'm shooting the guard too much. And I'm like delaying his animations too much and doing like a bad cycle of animations. If that makes sense. Nine, okay. That's the same as me then.
We got the
I'm just wondering if I'm like messing the guard up somehow. Because like you want to time it so that he's like starting his animation right when you leave, you know what I mean? So if you're shooting him too much, you mess everything up. Dude, why do I keep taking so much fucking damage?
So now they're leaving that guard alive.
Pretty cringe, so.
They realize that he's not a huge threat. Oh my god.
Come on.
I'm stunned.
Holy shit! Woo, boy! Oh my god. Oh my god. I might die with this one. 70 ammo, holy. 70 ammo, dude. We're in there. Let's go. Whew. Am I gonna die or am I gonna destroy DLTK? Yeah, but let's take a bet. Am I gonna die? Or am I gonna kill facility DLTK forever? No, I'm not warping the detonator. Why would I do a strat that I've never practiced on a good run? Irie's like, please die. Please die, please die.
Good Trev. Oh my god, he missed one shot, was just enough to hail the tanks.
Oh my god, I fucking choked it, but I lived. Ah, f me, man, I choked it. 125. Damn it! I mean, I only lost like 2 seconds. It's kind of cringe, kind of mad about that, but... I tried to do it too YOLO. I tried to do it too YOLO, Irie.
I'm kind of laughing because I see in chat Ace wrote, facility DLTK dead forever, it's over. Now, you know, this is the current state of facility DLTK. 125 is the world record. But I do wonder if Ace were to attempt it. He hasn't played it since his 204 back in the day. So I wonder if Ace could get lower than 125 if he tried. obviously, even it's just funny seeing Ace of all people in chat saying that. Obviously, Clemens, if he really grinded hard, he could probably do it as well. You know, I wouldn't call it a choke, but he just got too eager by one shot and blew all the shots there, and then had to reload. Like, all you had to do was be a little tiny bit more patient. Like, right? Because now he's blasting 8 shots into that one. And so he could have left, like, now, instead of reloading. So he did lose, like, 2 seconds. Like, 123 is doable. I was not expecting half of this stuff. Like, skipping that guard, fair enough. And I guess the risk is that, like, sometimes the way guards track you in this game is really odd. Like, sometimes they'll follow you all the way through and you know, end your life. Well, other times, they kind of just stop running. And so it is interesting that you're kind of taking a risk, you're taking a chance, you're hoping that they don't follow you the whole way, basically. You know? And I mean, there's the way kind of Clem's thinking about the run, talking it out with chat. It makes it a great watchable run, which is always really cool. As, you know, these moments, it reminds me of Mark Rootsu's Aztec Double Agent 140, where it's like you pause, you have a moment to, like, you have a moment for the run to catch up with you and, like, think, oh my god, like, what's gonna happen? You know, I'm on the run. You know, it's truly insane. So that's always cool, you know. And, like, I wonder if you could draw out percentages, how, like, I'm sure this one, you generally live. That guard probably doesn't, like, oh man, you could actually see that guard shooting at him. You could see one shot here, I believe. Maybe I was wrong? Yeah, look, that is the guard he left alive in the top right. That's his shot. And so because, you know, with the enemy accuracy 100%, they always hit you if there's a clear line. He must be just deep enough in the room at full strafe that he's off the line. There's a wall in the way, so the guard shot misses. But, like, it's close. It's that close, you know? So I think there is kind of a dance like this. You know, Swatris in chat points out it's a real dance with the guards. And I agree. It's kind of like you're kind of risking passing away more frequently to save time. And in a way, that's speedrunning in a nutshell, especially in GoldenEye, but it's so much more apparent on DLTK when one shot brings you imminent death, generally speaking. Best Doke too.
Holy shit!
And he knows it's the run. An amazing run. So amazing stuff by Clem there with the 125 facility DLTK. So the next stage I want to take a look at tonight, and I think this is actually a good sort of format for these DLTK episodes going ahead, because, you know, there's about a half dozen improvements on many stages throughout history since the very first completion. But the next stage I want to look at is Frigate DLTK, and I'll let this play out in the background. I love the beautiful play bug on screen there. Such an aesthetic. People copy that play bug all the time in thumbnails and stuff when trying to give that sort of 90s analog horror feel, you know? That's, like, this is authentic. This is the Brandon Sanford run, one of the earliest Frigate DLTK completions. And I believe we did watch this one during one of the first 4 DLTK episodes. You know, this is one of sort of the iconic Frigate completions. And yeah, Brandon Sanford got this in January 2006. I have a feeling this was one of the ones that was lost media for about 8 years until Mouser found the tapes and made some of the runs. So Hideyoshi in chat asks, the hostages don't matter, right? And that's not correct. The hostages do matter. However, the bonus you have is this. If a guard sees you, if a hostage taker sees you and decides to shoot the hostage after a second or whatever, the hostage won't die. And that's a huge benefit, because you can do stuff like let the guy see you, let him run, shoot the hostage, let him run to some other area where it's safer, and handle him over there. Now, that being said, you do still need to pass away the 5 hostage takers, or 6, 5 hostages need to escape. So you do need to pass them away, but they don't have to be passed away before they shoot the hostage. They can be passed away after. You know, because the hostage will survive that one shot. So that is a huge benefit on Frigate DLTK. I mean, that being said, it's a tight area where there's a lot of chaos, a lot of guards, a lot can go wrong, and so we're going to see some clever strategies and techniques used to improve these over time. Yeah, so just looking back, you know, we see Illu had the first ever completion at 252. He improved it to 226. And then Bix got this 215. Bix, Brandon Sanford. There's hostage escaped, objective A completed. And it is still funny because even though, you know, it is DLTK and survival is the main sort of difficult thing, you do still need to have a lucky run where the guards, where the hostages escape quickly. You know, that still needs to happen. So, you know, that can be, you need good luck still. Like, you will always need good luck on this stage. Now, I believe we watched this run in a previous episode as well, but I'm going to watch it again. This one is Eddie Lovins here with Frigate DLTK 209, so cutting another 6 seconds off. Let's watch his run and strategy here. So this card doesn't see right away. That card can also do really weird things. Okay, so here is Lovins is basically doing this. Letting the hostage taker shoot the hostage, luring him over, and killing him with the explosion of the console. This is a very good technique, very intelligent strategy. And so these are some techniques we're going to see start getting used here on Frigate DLTK. Oftentimes they're hoping for a nade pull as well. He did get a nade, so you can chuck it here. And again, Lovins, we see Lovins make use of quick pausing, which is, I mean, really that's, when I see these old runs, I'm reminded of just how much, and look, that, wow, that passed away, those guards underneath as well. I mean, just how much Lovins really ensured bringing quick pausing into the fold. He knew it was faster, he knew it was better. It speeds up your subsequent pauses by about a second if you're at full speed, maybe even a little bit more, 1 or 2 seconds. So it's a very important mechanic in the game. And those crouch headshots are really good. You know, you can always be kind of nervous that guards are going to come from behind and shoot you there. But the more you get a feel for the level, the more you play it, the more you kind of understand what can and cannot go right or wrong, you know? So now he's just got to go here, save this last one, defuse the bomb. This is actually tricky, so he's going to let the hostage get shot again. Oh no! He probably intended for that to happen, but it didn't happen. Oh! He got the guards to chase him throughout the rest of the frigate. That's what he did, which is a very smart strategy as well. But now he needs this guy to escape quickly, which happens 1 in 7 times only. And so you can imagine he probably got 7 runs, maybe more, maybe fewer, to the end like that, and the hostage didn't escape quickly. Alas. Or in this case, wow, it's amazing. He gets 209 on Frigate DLTK. That's a good run. That's a very good run. There we go. The max settings. Wow, it's amazing. Well, Sula Rock mentions in chat that he watched a interview with Dr. Doke on YouTube about any, you know, and one of the things was any mistakes you think about when making GoldenEye, and Doke apparently said getting shot during the pause animation was a mistake. That's crazy to me because it's such an integral part of the game. It's like you either don't want to pause in a location where you're going to get shot, or sometimes you do to get boosts forward and stuff, like on Silo comes to mind. So that's really fascinating. Now, at this point in Frigate DLTK history, this Lovins world record actually remained untied for 8 years, which again is on the cusp. Here, I'm actually going to pull this in and, you know, these are the longest standing LTK and DLTK world records, and 8 years is just shy of making the top 10 all time. Lovins's run almost made this list, but it did not. You know, you would think that Adam Boson would show up earlier. Alas, he did not. He did not show up till 2016. And so we actually don't get the sort of vintage Boson vision of his CRT television. We get the improved Boson capture quality that he would install after beating Silo on DLTK for the first time. So, yeah, let's watch this insane Boson run. And actually, I should point out, Boson improved in 2016, October 2016, when Boson, this was after he beat Silo DLTK. When he decided he wanted to play Frigate DLTK, he improved the record. 204 was his first improvement, and he improved it 10 times to this point here. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty remarkable. We're going to watch the 10th improvement of Boson of Frigate DLTK, a run so remarkable we're going to dedicate to our SpeedLore champion, 4-Day Bender. A huge thanks, 4-Day, for all your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's take a look at the DLTK master, Adam Boson, on Frigate DLTK, baby. There is this weird thing where this guard can like run away and run through the frigate, and so that lure caused that, which is a good strategy. He's trying to probably get a nade lure there. Oh wow, this is quite a different technique now we're seeing all around. So we can just see this as a way more aggressive sort of gambit he's running through the stage, while pausing for the bomb diffuser here. That's insane, because now you have to trust that there are no guards who are lured over here. He doesn't save the engine room hostage. He's going to rely on the upstairs hostages all escaping in a quick and efficient manner, which, let me tell you, does not always happen. And so it is kind of funny, you know, once again, oh my god, he's letting both hostages get shot. That is insane. He's just hoping that that explosion is for sure going to kill both those hostage takers. And I guess trusting that he knows that oftentimes it does. Really incredible strategizing here. I'm actually impressed and amazed. So he's going to wait a bit. There it is. Wow. $149, baby. His 10th improvement of Frigate DLTK in a row. Yeah, I'm actually amazed at this strategy. I want to see here. So, at the very beginning, he does lure out that left guard, and he's probably trying for a nade pull. You like let the animation happen, and I think he gets it. Yeah, that guard pulls a nade frequently. But then when he goes back up, like this is honestly, I haven't watched this run before. I don't think. This is amazing. That like peek in. Both the takers shoot the hostages, and that explosion alone killed both of them. Let's listen for it. Yeah, so if you're playing intently, you know, oftentimes if I play these days, which is rare, but I'll listen to music or YouTube or something, you wouldn't be able to do that on this stage, really. You want to listen intently to the game and really make sure you're listening to whether or not the guards passed away. in a proper affair. Now, I wonder if it's necessary for him to go around and up. I wonder if he could have made these shots here and then, like, doubled back and went up that same way. That would have saved maybe a couple seconds, you know, instead of going all the way around. But maybe you have to wait that time anyways for the 2 other guards in this room to leave and not bother you. Perhaps we will find out, my friends. And yeah, John O'Stan in chat says, I've still never beaten a DLTK level. These guys are making it so easy, and it's true. At the same time, you gotta remember, like, this is probably a session of several hours long, and this is the, you know, the best completion. You know, this is the one. If I look at the stage's history, Boson's 10 completions were from October 5th to November 16th. So he played this level for 5 weeks straight to cut the world record down from Lovins' 209 to his 149. That's very impressive. But my friends, this record would last only for roughly 2 years' time. Until, well, the big boss man would come along and do some playing of his own. The big boss man indeed. Well, he's a remarkable and legendary speedrunner, and so of course, any run of his we will dedicate to a SpeedLore champion, and this one goes out to our pal FC Bojangles. A huge thanks, FC, for all your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's see what Boss was able to muster up in 2018. So he's at the PP7 now, which is interesting. Yeah, he just pulls away here and quick pauses twice. And that alone initiates the strange behavior of the guard to run away. He gets an instant nade pull, which is great. So a lot went right for Boss right off the bat there. He lured guards in there, chucking the nade. Oh my, I thought he was gonna have to slap that guard. That's insane. He had... Wow. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. I think he only had 8 shots, so I'm wondering exactly... Maybe the guard only takes 8, or maybe a little bit of the explosion did some damage. Because the Phantom, like, does more damage to you, but I don't know if he does more damage to guards. I've never, like, really experimented with it that much. Okay, so the Phantom does more damage to guards. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess you want 8 exactly. And that's the thing, like, we're at a point in the level now where you plan so deeply that you plan to have exactly 8 shots there and hit all the headshots, and if you miss, that's a reset, you know? So I did hear the 2 oofs there. So he's going around as well. It is a cleaner and tighter run, you know, again, now that, you know, the sort of hardcore speed and speedrunning elements been brought in, you know, Boss is a former champion of the game, you know, Boson's highest ranks was about 20th, so that is mostly the difference, I would say, here. Boss has to wait, actually, a few seconds for the hostages to escape, which is pretty insane. Wow. So, you know, if the hostages escape faster, which can happen, you know, Boss probably could have got, you know, a 142, 141, something around there, you know? 146, good run. And then when you're playing DLTK, you have to back out, show the settings, and show that you had no cheats on. That's sort of the standard procedure these days. You kind of wonder about, like, he frees the... So, hostage released, hostage escaped. That was probably that last one, and then he waits a couple seconds for one of the earlier ones to get out. Yeah, like 142, 143, so a good run. And once again, like, every shot here is intentional. Like, you know you're gonna shoot this guy 10 times in the head. He knows he needs 8 left. And he knows he needs 8 headshots here. Pretty cooked. And like that passes the guards way downstairs. Now he's going ammo, you know? That's just a very, like a clinical run. Intelligent run, clinical run, great run. Boss says this. New strat at the start, where you shoot 5 PP7 shots to lure the nade guard quicker. With a fast kill, you also never need to worry about the beginning guard being a problem around the bug throw. So, again, this is something unseen that we'd only see if we watch an entire session, for example, that sometimes one of the first guards will come to your bug throw area. Ammo's tighter for the early part of the level, but I get a lot more runs to the boat once I build consistency with it. Only real mistake was the first agent hostage taker took a bit to take down from the flame. That's true. If we go back, we can see exactly what Boss meant there. He kind of... This could have been cleaner, you know. He kind of waited a little bit long. His aim was a little bit off. And, he kind of wait, a tiny hesitation there, but still a good run. And so, he waited a few seconds by the bow. Maybe 4 or 5 seconds can come off this, I would say. His 236 from 2012 has no comment. So it's cool to see that he came back 6 years later and improved his record by almost a minute, his own personal record. And it's amazing to think now that we're almost 6 years after this, November 2018. Not quite, but we're getting there, baby. We're getting there. 2 more runs to show, which took place 4 years after this, and which took place roughly 1 year ago today. I was gonna say, I suppose it could have been that Irie missed out on the facility records, and so he switched to Frigate, but these ones actually took place first. In January 2022, Irie decided, and I imagine there was some sort of LTK side league going on in the community, a fun sort of fantasy league that we do every now and then. And so he was probably playing for that, and he decided, I'm going to play some Frigate DLTK. Let's see what Irie did.
I think I just need to throw a little bit higher. Slightly higher. And if I throw left enough, it'll be fine. Sub anomaly. That sounds wild though, Ben. Let's go.
10 shots in his clip. I know people always dislike my verbiage for these things.
No.
But
Okay, we made it work. Let's
that
go.
guard flew up high.
I think I killed him.
That was insane. I didn't even really know for sure. It was like he's really giving it a go.
We really need that ammo.
$35
Yeah,
shots.
exactly. I'm juggling.
So there is a weird thing where if you like shoot at that hostage, he can escape there more frequently. I don't even really know how it works, but
What? Oh my god! Oh my god, I think that's world record, dude. What the just happened? Dude, is that 145? Oh, I tied it! Okay, I'll take it, I'm gonna keep playing. Oh my god, I'm definitely gonna keep playing, but hey, we got the world record. Let's fucking go.
yeah, that's kind of funny how he is missing a cheat on this file. He is missing... Oh, he's missing Caverns 00. 2 times RCP 90. Insane. That's really funny. That's really funny and epic. Yeah, and so that was a good run. You know, again, that was kind of crazy down here how he like almost this guard, like he's shooting in the head, but then he kind of hits the body, and then the other guard's coming, so he has to leave. But then I think what saved him here, and again, you're playing like 100 runs a night, so of course some things are going to go right sometimes because most runs go wrong. But this last fadeaway shot hit the guard in the head and finished him off. If that didn't happen, maybe that hostage doesn't get released. You know, so that's kind of crazy. So it's like some, you know, you win some, you lose some, and in this case, he definitely won that sort of toss up there, which is kind of funny. And then he gets up here, and this technique's pretty sorted out now. They shoot the hostages. Yeah, again, that was cleaner than boss. You know, we saw that. But I think what happened here is he was trying to do this thing where you shoot at the hostage's foot. You don't hit him, you shoot near him, and he does like one different animation, and this like, I don't know exactly what it does honestly, like White Ted knows for sure. But he had no ammo, so he couldn't pull it off. He ends up slapping. He wanted to shoot at the hostage's foot there, which like increases his odds that he'll choose that escape point for some reason. And it's funny how like he goes to stop because, you know, it's not so optimized that you have to run into the ending right away, but he goes to stop, and then it completes right away.
What? Oh my god!
It's amazing. It's the good like get out of the chair reaction, you know. Reminds me of Irie's reaction when he got the Dizzy Dinghies record. So Sewell, no, the hostage can never escape before being released. He gets released once the hostage taker is dead and faded out. And so he can never escape before that, because he doesn't start moving until after that. And so yeah, I guess Irie wanted to, let's say anything in the comments, just what a rush. Let's take a look at the, well, he kept playing. Irie kept playing, baby. He said, I want a little bit lower. That run was good, but not amazing. And so on February 2nd, 2022, Irie went out there and got this speedrun.
Next grenade, let's go.
I'm really keen to see this play out. Guard pull a nade instantly, which is great. 14 shots. Chucks it in there deep. Oh, he only has 20 shots here. He was hoping to pick up more ammo. He was able to get 30 from there. So we're gonna see as soon as that guard fades out, hostage release will come up. And then when that guard fades out, we'll see hostage release come up. And sometimes they blend together, the messages, so it can be hard to like tell. Like we're just gonna see one continuous hostage released here. Good, that was good movement, kind of archive style. He knows the run's on a good pace. He's getting keen. Tracker bug. Nice toss. Good shots. I'm surprised that they still going all the way around, you know. But again, what do I know? I haven't played the stage in a million years, if ever. Diffuse. Here we go. There's the shot. That's what he was trying to do last time.
Fucking it.
But he had no ammo. He calls it.
3, 2, 1. Oh my god, that's it! That's a world record, that's untied! Oh my god, Clemens, you're a fucking legend. That one's for Clemens, dude. Oh my god, that's 143 to the bank. 141! What the What the We just got a 5-second untied with A on screen. That's right, dude. Oh my god. Clemens is a legend. He said it's tonight. He said Next nade is it. He was right about both those things. It was just such a good run that I just decided to wait for like an extra second. And then it just literally completed A on screen. I was like, what the dude? Dude, I just optimized this shit so fucking much. Yeah, that was hype, dude. That was so hype. 141. I can't even process this. That's like my best run, dude. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit like, oh, I wish I just went right in the boat right there, you know? I waited like an extra moment, but, dude, 141 is insane. I was like, that's 143. When I saw 141, I was like, what the fuck? Dude, a 5-second untied. That shit's not getting beat for a long time, dude.
No, that was definitely a really insane run. If we look at the Frigate rankings now, you know, here it is. Dedicated to Clemens, first DLTK untied. It's a 5-second untied, my best run ever with A on screen too. Pretty insane. If we click on Frigate here, we see 5-second untied. Even Boson's 149 is still third place, right? Which is pretty crazy. And then everything falls below that. Look, Eddie's 209 is still 7th, and Bix's 215 is still top 10. Like, that is crazy to see. Like, I was expecting more, right? A lot of other levels, like Facility, I was going to say it's been filled out more, but it kind of hasn't really, you know? So, I guess, on one hand, DLTK still has a lot to be optimized by a lot of people, but the records are very, very good, and Irie's 141 still remains 5-second untied. And yeah, you know, there's an interesting comment in chat from Tony Nubarez, who says, I wonder if instead of shooting the last hostage guard in the bridge room, wouldn't it be quicker to shoot the hostage guard down in the engine room? That way you could just YOLO fly through the last room with just the diffuser. It's hard to say because you would need to crouch for that engine room guard and shoot 10 headshots, which is like going to be hard. And then I don't even know if it's going to be faster. Like when you really think about it, because you would still have to do the shooting outside of the bridge room and go around. Yeah, and I mean, it is true that, like, basically on a world record run, you're hoping that the bridge room hostage escapes in his best one of 7 locations, which takes like 3 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. If he doesn't, you're not going to get the world record. So you're like relying on getting that 1 out of 7 run, which is kind of insane. And that odd is improved a little bit by doing that shot at him. And like, yeah, if we look here, it's like, okay, he's in this room. He pauses, you know, he's in the basement area. He's pausing for the diffuser. So like, let's say he went in there, diffused it, and shot and freed the last hostage here. Like, he'd have to crouch, and it would take a few seconds. Would that trade-off be worth it? Like, I don't know. Maybe. I guess what I was gonna say is this. This 141 is a really insane run, and I think it will only be beat if there's a new route or path on the stage. Something that comes to mind, and this is just kind of my, you know, I always envision the silliest, most insane strat possible. What if you threw the bug first somehow on your way down, and then only paused once for the diffuser? You know, like, freed the engine room hostage, paused for the diffuser in the engine room, ran all the way back up with the diffuser, diffused this, and ran to the end. Like, something like that. You know, I think it will take a strategy evolution for this to be improved. You know, he even barely waits by the boat here. 141, it's a really, really good time. And, yeah, I think there's gonna have to be a new technique, a new route to lower this. Yeah, I mean, here's my vision, okay? And keep in mind, this might not work. Ace recently got an Untied and Perfect Dark on Air Force One Special Agent 116. Him and I were in voice chat. I was throwing out ideas for strategies. It didn't work, but something he had in mind did work. It kind of, you know, it helped him generate a new idea. So that being said, maybe this will generate an idea for somebody on Frigate DLTK, maybe, okay? My idea would be basically this. Try around this. So do this as you normally do, okay? Do this as you normally do. Get the nade and so on. Maybe find a way to free these two guys early. That might be too complicated because you might lure other guards, which might not be good. But maybe consider that. Go down here and pause for the tracker bug and throw it. Again, that might be a complication because then these guards won't be in the right spot, you know? They might be somewhere else in the frigate. But let's say you could do all that. Then you go down here. You go in this room. You free these two guys. Okay, fair enough. So now we've freed these two, and we've maybe freed the two upstairs. Either or. You don't pause there. You keep strafing, and you run into the engine room with your weapon out, and crouch and free this one. Then pause for the diffuser. Now you don't have to pause for the tracker bug because you've already thrown it. You have the diffuser out. You strafe all the way with the diffuser to the very end. I mean, let's say you have the 5. Let's say you have 5 hostages freed now. You did the 2 agent ones first. You could run all the way down with the diffuser. It wouldn't. You would have to do something else because right now there are 3 guards in the bridge room, and his shooting outside the bridge room is what lures them out. Like this lures the 2 away into the bowels of the frigate so they don't bother you here. And so you'd have to find a way to do that. I mean, if it does make me think though, if there is a mode on which skipping a pause on frigate could be done, because this thing sort of always is tossed around, I think DLTK is a good candidate for that. To skip a pause, which saves 2 seconds. Hyde Yoshi in chat mentions, could you pause and do a bug throw? And like you totally could. It'd be kind of silly to like pass on chucking the bug when you run past the helicopter twice. But like if there was some technique involved where you would like pause and do the bug throw there, I mean, yeah, sure. So that's kind of the beauty with DLTK is because it is so much less optimized, there are almost always these sorts of techniques that could be generated and created to save more time on most stages. Some stages are pretty close to like a clear path forward, but that does get me thinking. And yeah, Sula Rock in chat mentions using 2.3 control style. And again, sure, that's possible, but that's only been on an agent. Hasn't even been done on Secret or 00 yet. And so, you know, we'll see that happen before it happens on DLTK. But that's the beauty of it, is that it can always be optimized more and more. Okay, so I was considering doing 1 or 2 more levels. I feel like this lure is a really good length right now. So instead of doing a full other level, I'm going to show a run on a level where there's only been 1 improvement that I haven't shown. Runway DLTK was the longest standing LTK record by Boson. He got it in July 2010, and it was untied forever and ever and ever. Finally, Joachim Lung, who achieved Runway Agent 21, by the way, one of the guys to get 21, was the first person ever to tie Boson's 43 on Runway DLTK. So the last run that we're going to watch tonight in this episode will be Joachim Lung's Runway DLTK 43. Let's take a look. And honestly, I have no idea how this level works. I know you take less damage while in the tank. I don't really understand why you survive or don't survive on certain runs, but let's just watch it and enjoy it. No music. Chucks the nade. Runs for the tank. Really crisp capture quality, which is nice. Takes out the tank shells. So there's a shot at a guard. You have to nail all these shots at guards to avoid getting hit. So he takes 2 hits there and gets a lucky sidestep, I guess, to avoid taking damage from guards. Gotta shoot one at the guard there, and then shoot the tank and hope that the other guard doesn't come out. I guess that's it. And he does get one hit from behind while exiting. Probably from a spawning guard. Runway DLTK 43 seconds. This was untied for over 12 years. Yet, finally, Joachim tied it, which is amazing to see. Yeah, and look, he doesn't have all the cheats either, which is funny. Hide Yoshi points out he could have been hit by the drone, which I guess is possible. Like that drone. Yeah, it hadn't blown up yet. That makes sense. I think there is like one guard behind the battery. Like that guard's hitting him twice. And so I guess the tank diminishes your damage by like 75%. Because it looks like he's losing 2.5 bars of health there. 2.5, 2.5. Yes, so normally we do 10 bars. So the tank must like diminish it down to 25% of what you take. That's a guard passed away. There's another guard behind the battery, I believe. But I guess the hope is that you park the tank like here and hope that he doesn't see you or come out until after you're in. And there it is. I mean, it looks simple, looks straightforward, but nobody tied this in 10 years, you know? And, yeah, I think what's interesting is the world record with the tank was 38 seconds on Double O Agent before we moved to throwing the nades at the drones. And so the time lost compared to 38 would be a little bit, you know, this is probably 2 seconds, maybe even 3 there. That's basically nothing. So let's say 2 or 3 seconds there, leaving the tank. And then you hop in the tank. You normally twist around and go backwards, which saves like half a second. And then having to shoot these guards, he does like hold up a little bit to shoot. I guess you have to hope to get lucky and that guard do some animations to survive. And because he's doing extra shots for the guards, he can't do these shots earlier, has to like kind of hold up and shoot them. And so that's what causes it to go from 38 to 43 on DLTK. But it's a great run, no doubt. It took, you know, it took 12 years to tie. So there we go, baby. Runway DLTK 43, great time. And yeah. And this Runway 39 LTK seems insane, but I suppose we'll save that for another time, my friends. With all that being said, my friends, it was a wonderful, wonderful GoldenEye DLTK SpeedLore episode. I truly enjoyed examining Facility DLTK, Frigate DLTK, and of course this amazing run on Runway DLTK. And I think this is a good format going ahead. You know, what's kind of beautiful about DLTK is that there are some levels which have seen 5 to 10 improvements since the very first one. You know, there'd be 5 or 10 good videos to show. There's some that maybe there's only 1 or 2 videos to show. And so it kind of makes a good blend to do 2 or 3 levels per episode. And I think that is exactly what we'll do. You know, we probably have, you know, 4 or 5 more DLTK episodes, maybe even more. So that's a great thing to stay tuned for. Make sure to be subscribed, of course, to the SpeedLore channel on YouTube, and check out the SpeedLore on Patreon. Speaking of which, a huge thanks to the SpeedLore legends for your support of SpeedLore on Patreon. It always helps me keep going and helps continue this series that so many have come to know and love and enjoy. And it's amazing. It's truly amazing knowing you know, I can do this and all these wonderful people support and enjoy it. So thank you very, very much for that. Stay tuned and stay true. Next month we'll be back at it with another episode of GoldenEye's SpeedLore, and I think we'll do another GoldenEye DLTK SpeedLore, so stay tuned for that. Stay true, my friends, and I'll see you in the next stream or video. Good night.